Coming up on AIB Talks, where authors and business connect.
Times we second guess ourselves. We think we need more money, we need another degree, we need another certification, we need this, that, and the other. But the core gift that we have, that we're put here to use, and that will be our profit, we already have. And it's a matter of, one, realizing that, and two, what are the things that you need to do to activate it? So that's the purpose of me writing that book, is to help you get from where you are today. Because you already have those gifts. You got this, all right? And then go ahead and activate it and put it in motion and be successful with it.
That means a lot, because I think oftentimes, even young people, like you said, like 13, 15 to 17 years old, we look outside of ourselves, or we try to seek validation. Now, does your book stand for that as validation, or is it to remind them as a reminder? And I know you said it transitions them from where they're at to where they want to be, but how does somebody find themselves? I think that's what a lot of young people try to do, is try to find themselves, and we really don't even know what to find.
So true. Number one, being your own best cheerleader, and sometimes, you know, repeating to yourself, I got this, I got this. But a lot of times we're human beings. We were created for a relationship. So just to have another person say, you got this. I mean, I have people who speak in New York City, at New York University, in front of rooms and conferences full of people who manage wealth and, you know, hedge funds and futures managers, and we're on the phone and I'm telling them, you got this. Brother, you got this. You have the secret sauce. You have exactly what they need. Now get up there and go give those people what they need, because you got this. Sometimes we need that. So yes.
Yeah, we do. We do. I don't know if you guys are watching this right now and like, man, if I can have Tori Vogt in my back pocket every time I get on that stage, if I can have her on the phone calling me.
Just so you know, my background, I've been 30 years in corporate America. I have a Master of Business Administration, and I have consulted some of the world's largest companies, all the way to mom and pop businesses. And I am now taking that to a core and personal level. So I will continue and do offer the one-on consultation, as well as with groups. And this time it's going from so much what is external, a product or a service, to going with what that gift and that treasure is that we have inside. So one commitment that I always made when I did business in the corporate world, and still do, is that I have to believe in the product or service. I'm not going to lie and tell you this is great. I'm going to tell you the truth. Listen, we need to refine X, Y, and Z for it to be great. And you got this. We can do this. Okay. And likewise, for a person who wants to get some motivation or just get some traction in their lives, I am going to be very honest with you. I know you got this because you have an innate gift. And if there's some things that you need to refine, I'm going to be very honest. I'll be very kind, but I'm going to gently, lovingly, and very much be a coach and help you identify both your strengths, your weaknesses, and what we need to do to get you from today to the life of your dreams.
Now that's with young people, and also, I mean, I know you say you did this in the corporate world too as well, but for those who are watching right now on AIB Talks, is this open for adults too as well to utilize your services, or is it just for a certain demographic?
No, absolutely. So yes, it is open for adults. My passion and my give back actually was for younger people, because of my history, my story, and really not only having the support at home, but having real negative voices telling me what I couldn't do, and very, you know, establishing limiting beliefs. So I was able to break through that. And so this is really a personal give back to address this first book. This is the first of several to come toward youth, but the principles and the service and the value that I offer does resonate, and it's relevant for adults, whether it's in their personal growth, development, or in their business or careers.
Still to come on AIB Talks.
the new popularity or the new type of popularity, even when you feel like you got this?
I'll say I'm also in education. I'm a coach, so I get to see the kids and how they are, and the one thing that frustrates me is they try so hard to fit in. They're trying so hard to fit the mold of Instagram models, and I just wanted to kind of give them a platform of it's okay to be exactly who you are, and that's what makes you popular. You don't have to go outside of the norm. You don't have to do anything that you don't feel is comfortable. Just be you, and people will love you for that. There's nothing more that you need to do to make yourself popular than just be.
Hi, I'm Jay Jones from Columbus, Ohio. I'm a certified life coach and the author of It All Begins With You, 9 affirmations to help you love yourself and know your worth. I am a featured author at the 2019 Authors in Business Tour. More importantly, I'll be among some remarkable authors from across the globe as we move as one. You don't want to miss this. I will be talking about how to unselfishly love yourself, get unstuck, and take control of your life. I will share with you my personal stories on how I was able to overcome low self-esteem, fear, procrastination, and to finally get to a place to where I wanted to be. I realized the power that I had within, and I want to share that with you. You don't want to miss this tour, and we will be at a city near you. See you soon.
Have you experienced that before, to where being yourself is now the new cool?
I will say when I got to college, I met some good friends. They were basketball players, they were in fraternities, but they also loved God like so much. They could quote the Bible, and I wasn't there spiritually in my walk, and I felt like I was outcasted. You know, growing up, you're like, oh yeah, I don't really want to go to church. Like, that's not where the cool people hang out. But they like really showed me like there's no shame in being whatever you want to be. And that was like the first time that it hit me like, oh my gosh, like I really have to kind of help other people understand that, because it was a wake-up call for me. I didn't have to feel like something wasn't cool. Whatever I wanted to be was perfectly fine with me.
That's amazing. This is definitely going to inspire, young adults, older adults, stuff that we probably have not came to grips with or thought about too as well, because, sometimes older act younger, sometimes younger acts older, sometimes, and with business, doing business the way you do business, right? You first encourage yourself, you got this, and create a new popularity with not just your young people. It starts at home, it starts small. Just like Tori said, instilling those positive belief systems. Tori explained to share with us about the negative belief systems and limiting beliefs that were placed upon her. But at the same time, you can definitely start early where it's okay to be yourself. And I'm so proud of you guys, because what I hear right now, it's really changing the trajectory of bullying, self-esteem, also thriving in business too as well. So as a children's author, Karissa, why a children's author and not a workbook or your own personal story?
Such a need for the kids these days to kind of help with mentorship, and that's one of the reasons why I coach. That's one of the reasons why I'm in education, is I really want to inspire them. So much has changed. Like, internet is everywhere. There's so much out there for them to see that isn't exactly positive. So I wanted to be the black sheep, quote unquote, to kind of show them that positivity goes far beyond just Instagram likes and having a million followers. All of that is, temporary, but you have to find something within that's going to give you longevity. About some more things beyond just my teaching background. Once you're coaching, you're with your girls majority of the time, so you guys get to build a deeper relationship beyond just the surface. So it's really my chance to kind of build and motivate them and kind of see where their goals and aspirations are, and see what I can do to help kind of pull that out of them, to not only make them amazing athletes but amazing young people.
You do something similar too, Tori. So if you can share with us in regards to about the new popularity, about your coaching your clients, about you got this, because you said something profound. Hey, look, sometimes the best of the best still need a coach in their ear and say, you got this. You go show them what you got, right? But that also it's not always bringing other people from the low point, right? Sometimes they're already here and you have to keep bringing them up. So share with us on that.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
So another thing that really planted the seeds and really pushed and motivated me to go ahead and get this first book out is seeing suicides among very successful people, very well-loved, very successful people like the Kate Spades of the world, the Anthony Bourdains of the world. You wonder, people love them and they've done so well. Like, what was missing to think that there was no hope or life was hopeless when they had been both successful and very loved by millions of people? And so, like Karissa said, it starts inside, and that's where it circles back to, and it's long lasting. And so with the principles and the introspection and the exercises in the You Got This book, it's applicable to someone who may be at the top of their field or top of their game. We are human beings on a lifelong journey, and we never arrive. Even people who we think are the most successful, they'll tell you, I have not made it. I have not yet arrived. And so, taking the principles and the exercises that, someone who's just starting their life can use, it also applies to someone who is at the top of their game, because we're always striving for perfection, to be, the next new biggest thing. Maybe we've, created a huge company and sold that, and now we're moving on to the next venture. So we're always, as human beings, seeking to be better than we were yesterday. And the journey is every day that we're here. So with that, the principles again, and You Got This would help somebody both at the top of their game, or someone who's just getting started, or maybe somebody who's had it all and lost it, maybe somebody who's taken a fall.
Still to come on AIB Talks.
A lot of times, like, people on top of their game, they probably feel that they don't have permission to talk about their failures or their mishaps. It's like they have to have permission. And so that's what you do for your clients and your customers too as well. It's like, hey, look, I really believe that you got this. It's like creating a safe space. Hi, I am Desiree Lee, the #1 sought after self-publishing consultant across the web. I help individuals publish their books in 24 hours or less. In the last 4 years, I was able to publish 10 books, sell over 20,000 copies of my first year as a published author. I invite you guys to become of Authors in Business Co., where no author is left behind. For those who are owner-operators, those who have their small businesses, those who have their companies too as well, and those who are writing their books. So I want to know, right, what do you say to the single mom who's a business owner? How does a single mom encourage herself?
Great, I'm glad you asked that question. So one thing is, always remember the uniqueness that's been placed inside you. Like Karissa mentioned, you don't have to fit into anybody's box, anybody's mold. You don't have to be an Instagram model. Popularity does not equal profit. It means you might be that dude or that girl on the block or in your neighborhood or even on Instagram. But how much profit, how much revenue minus expenses are you seeing at the end of the week, month, quarter, and year? Exactly. I can help people with their business strategy, all the way from creating and developing a business plan to executing it, to evaluating existing businesses and identifying where's their profitability, areas of opportunities, areas where they might need to sunset a product or service because it's not getting them. What I believe in getting is your maximum return on investment. Sometimes it might be a product or service that we like. It might be our favorite thing, but that's not what the market needs. And as a single mom with a limited amount of time, you have to be very careful on how you're going to invest your time? Are is it going to require that you have 20 hours time with your kids? So it means maybe you shouldn't be spinning your wheels 60 to 80 hours working. Maybe you need to identify what can you reasonably do that's going to bring you the greatest return on investment in 40 hours a week, so you can still be a good mom and give your kids a great childhood. Because that's another thing that single moms face at the end of the day. You might have, busted your behind and made all this money, and the kids are like, but we wanted your time. We wanted you there. We didn't care about having, the vacations and, the video games and the $200 sneakers. What meant most to us is the time that we spent together. So those are personal decisions that you need to make, but things that are very important that a single mother in business, I always advise take in consideration. It's not always about the money, but it's really about the quality of life.
Mm-hmm. Do you hear that with some of the young kids that you speak to or you share your book, that they just really, like, when it comes down to coaching them and as an educator, what do they really like, just saying, bottom line, I just want my mom, or I just want my dad, or just a listening ear?
Absolutely. We hear that so often, just like talking to students, like, why are you acting out today? Oh, my dad's gone on vacation. I haven't seen him in a week. It's so common. So I think parents do have to kind of realize how just taking the simple moments of just being there, just packing a lunch or showing up to a game, how pivotal that is in a child's life growing up.
I think we got caught up in finding our purpose. Running, hustle island, hustle don't sleep, team no sleep, and all this other kind of stuff. And they were like, oh, we're building this for our family. This is my why. You might be over there like, that is your why. But then you're hearing from experts on our couch today, telling you from a young person's perspective, from Michaela's perspective about popularity and young kids and being a coach too as well. And then also from Tori's perspective, or in her expertise, of those who are in high demand, clienteles, those who are regular everyday people too as well, and those who got it all together, like some people already have it together from another place too as well. So I really appreciate you, ladies.
I have been speaking at different conferences, just kind of encouraging young women. I actually got to speak at my school and read my book to my students. So that's kind of the goal. Also, the popular girl is going to turn into the popular boy really soon. Awesome. That's the next project. So really, that's the ultimate goal, just kind of keeping the future, which is what the younger generation is, inspired and kind of motivated to stay on the right track.
So if there was a parent watching this now and they're saying, oh, I was popular, or this, they're going to have to deal with the world. This is how the world is, right? What motivating, or what can they say to their children to get them on that, to help them stay on that right track without feeling like, oh, that's mom, like overbearing, or just to try to reconnect with their kids?
I think that's the biggest thing. If they feel the confidence and the love from home, they won't seek it anywhere else. So just, those positive affirmations daily, just like I said, being there, showing up, it makes a huge difference. And I think some kids, when they don't get that from home, they do seek it from other places. So that's the huge difference.
Absolutely. So with being a children's author, do you offer like a coloring book?
That I do. I do have a coloring book. It's not as long as the actual book. It's just kind of the main character. And then in the actual book, I do have a prayer list too. So you are able to actually write physically in the book as well. More important in the summertime, because you're kind of open to whatever choices. It's kind of like a free will. Most kids, once they get to the middle school age, the parents are gone to work. So parents are trusting them at home. So it's up to you to kind of make the best decision. And having that already instilled growing up, okay, well, I'm not going to call 6 friends over while mom's gone. I will get caught up. So I think that's the most important time, when it's best to be secure in yourself, so that you know how to make the best decisions even when people aren't watching, like your parents.
Wow. So do you have a contest or any philanthropy work? Like, does the kids write essays to Michaela?
They are working on that now. That's definitely my next thing. Like I said, after reading my book to my school, it was just so amazing to hear the response from my students and how excited they were and how motivated they were and how good they felt. So I am interested in hearing things that they have to say, their feedback on it, and their thoughts of popularity and their thoughts of how they feel inspired and what their goals are. So yes, definitely.
We're there and we're full spiritually and we're moving forward. Where do we go from there?
So it really is about planning. You know, plan your work and work your plan. And just like with a business or your personal life, you're just as important as any business. You're just as important as your school syllabus or your assignment or the credits that you need to graduate from high school or college. Remember, they're all planned out. They're all charted out. So, you know, chart your life out, and you could write your plan for the next 1 year. When I was younger, I couldn't see 3 or 5 years ahead of me. Like when I was starting college, I just couldn't see how I could do something for 4 straight years and finish college. And I didn't. And I took a different path, but just planning that out, you know, even if you've got to break it down to, you know, here's my plan, my list of things that I'm going to do today to help me reach that weekly goal, my goal for at the end of the month, my goal toward 3 months, 6 months. It helps us keep accountable to ourselves and to just not get lost in the sauce. Like, okay, I've got all this adrenaline, I'm pumped up. Just like, you know, coaching sports. Like if it's a track team, if it's an athlete who runs a sprint, who runs a 100, the coach and them have already worked together on how their form, how they're going to plant their feet during each step of the race, how they're going to breathe when they get like 10 feet or 10 yards from the finish line, what they need to do and what they need to do when they break that tape. So just planning the work, working your plan. So taking that energy and that fuel and that adrenaline and just keep that momentum up. And we all go through peaks and valleys. So there will be times when your energy is depleted. You may not feel like it, but you can refer back to your plan. You can look back and see what you've accomplished and give yourself, you know, pats on the back and celebrate your successes, and also see what's left, where you need to go to achieve your 1 month goal, 6 month goal, 1 year, 5 year goals.
But do you have a place where people can go when they feel depleted? Do they have a retreat? So You Got This retreat?
We have You Got This retreat. Right now it is held outside of Atlanta, Georgia in the beautiful and pristine Stone Mountain area. And so we partner with a person who is a Reiki master, who's a naturalist, like herbologist. She's certified in food nutrition. And it's just a really nice, peaceful space outside of Metro Atlanta. And it has, you know, all of the things that you will need to be well, you can come there and fall face down on your pillow and just cry or just exhale or just be tired and rest for a while, and you don't have the phone bothering you. You're not looking at that pile of laundry in the corner. You're not looking at your yard work that needs to get done. You're not checking your cell phone or computer. And you'll have the space, and if you would like it, you will have someone or people there to support you, a safe place and a tribe to talk with if you want to. Sometimes people just need to be heard, and so You Got This is a safe place where we listen.
Not just being smart and beautiful, athletic, and having all these great attributes, right, as a young kid, but what makes her feel like she's not popular? Like, did somebody tell her that, yeah, you're smart, you're beautiful, you're athletic, but you're not that popular? What made her feel that way?
Well, the idea is we have put the stigma on popularity as only being athletic, only being beautiful, having to be the jock of the school, and that's deemed the only way that you're popular. So what Michaela does is she creates her own norm of popularity, and she's using her relationship with Christ to grow through popularity. So she has students that, you know, are going through tough times, and she has just the right word to say, or she's bold enough to pray with them. And by the end of the story, she earns the chance to say the prayer at the Christmas play. And so the kids recognize her as the most popular kid, not because she, was our typical beautiful athletic girl, but just because she was so kind and so generous and so bold with who she was and who she wanted to be and what she wanted to do, that there was nothing that anyone could take from her. So she earned her popular title, and she didn't have to do anything outside of just be herself.
So if you are a children's author or even a published author, what they're showing with both of their books, they're short reads, that you don't have to have a 200-page book to make an impact. Okay? Some of the most powerful things are very, very small, right? But I love it because if you are the busy person and you just need a quick pick-me-up, then you definitely want to get that book. You got this. To say, you know what, I just need a pat on my back, remind myself of who I am, how far I've came, and that's what you're going to definitely need that for. But then if you say, look, I've been running this race, I know at this point of the track where Tori shares with us, this time you breathe, this time you run, this time you jog, and everything else in between. But there's a retreat where you can definitely just not relax, but also a place where they listen. And then the beautiful part about that is like, when you retreat, you're just trying to get away from everything. Like, it's just the baddest thing. But what I love about her retreat that she has here in Atlanta, Georgia, is that it's not just retreating, it's healing, right? As she's listening and then shows you how to manage or how to go through stress, how to reorganize it. Maybe it's because it's clutter that you feel a little overwhelmed or depleted. So you're not just leaving and going back to the same thing. I don't know about you, it's like my mom. She says when you travel, make sure the house is clean before you go. So when you come back, your house is clean, right? And so sometimes you want that when you're retreating from something. You don't want to retreat from mess and go back to mess. So you definitely want to make sure that you participate on that. And with our young people, I find ourselves being the biggest example, especially in business and authors who are in business and women and single mothers in business. In the Popular Girls book, it's a more gentler way to really get that point across without being like your children saying, Mom, Dad. And I know I used to do that to my parents too as well. But this is another way to where they can still feel cool and still share their beliefs and what they have been taught as a young person about the love of Christ. This is really great because now you can put this in your local church bookstores. We ask you guys to invite Michaela and Tori to come to your church, to your summer camps that you guys have going on during the summer, and also as you guys are preparing for the next school year, to invite them to your school. What's beautiful about the Popular Girls children's book, that is also an activity book, which makes it instructional material, just like You Got This is instructional material. And when we have accountability put us to the fire of doing something or action, then you're talking to a lot of kinesthetic learners, those who have to put their hands on it in order for it to resonate and to marinate in their memory and for them to move forward. And you know what? It's also to let you guys know that you're not alone. You don't have to do it all by yourself, right? And then we get to a chance to really understand, like, hey, there is someone out there like me when I thought I was the only person. So we invite you guys to reach out to them. Their information is in the comments below, in the description, on the platforms that you will see this being filmed at and distributed at here on AIBTALKS. If you're looking for a sign, this is it. And there's no better time than now. This is dleeinspires here, and you're invited to become a featured author at the upcoming 4th Annual Authors in Business 3-City Tour, Atlanta, Dallas, and Los Angeles. And if you're watching this video, then it means two things: that you're aspiring or a published author and you're ready to position your books on shelves like Barnes & Nobles, airports, local libraries, and even church bookstores. Listen, we want to put the spotlight on authors who have been overlooked, just like yourself.
providing the opportunity for authors to speak on stage, to sell their books and products, to build a bigger audience, and even see your face on billboards in each city. Come and be amongst other authors who get it. An event where authors and businesses connect during the ultimate group book signing. Check out all the details at dleeinspires.com/events. Share this video and I'll see you in the next city.